So this week's chapters were absolutely insane, but I have a feeling we're going to be saying that every single week.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to pull off some of these creatures like the Hoarder as live action, but in Seth MacFarlane we trust.
And just when we thought all they were going to do were fight mobs, now we learn they have to fight other crawlers. And who the fuck is Frank Q?
We're about to find out. Let's turn the page.
Welcome, crawlers, to chapters 8 through 17 of Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinniman. You're listening to Book for Two. I'm Scott.
And I'm Genevieve.
We are a married couple who reads the same chapters every week.
And then refuse to let each other get away with bad takes.
She's here for the magic and the mayhem of the heart.
And he's here for the lore and legendary stakes.
Every week we read the same chapters and pretend we're going to keep it calm and reasonable.
And then immediately start debating fictional people like they personally offended us.
All right, now it's time for our favorite part where we catch you up on our lives and on the podcast. So let's start with some of your bookish wood pieces.
All right, right now I'm working on the bookmarks like I told you about last week. And then I decided, obviously, you need a bookmark holder. And then I looked at my bookmarks and some of them are swords. So now I'm looking at a sword/letter opener holder. So lots of different little woodworking bookish things in the works over here.
Nice. Now, are you able to... If somebody want like a fourth wing, for instance, or an Akatar style one, would you be able to do that?
As in like laser engraving or something?
Yeah.
I don't see why not. I assume that I'm going to laser engrave the keep turning the page on them anyway. So I could personalize them, but then I get into copyright infringement. So
yeah, that's true too. Yeah. But you could do it like Temu does and like just change the letter and be like, a court of thorns and lilies. And there you go. You're like,
well, I mean, have ours. What is it? A court of mistletoe and mayhem.
Yeah, there you go. Yep. So I do want to talk about an upcoming release that I'm extremely excited for. So it's The Ballad of Fallen Dragons by Sarah A. Parker. It is book number 2 after When the Moon Hatched. And I am extremely excited for that one. I love When the Moon Hatched.
I still haven't read it. I still want to read it. I feel like I am so far behind in so many books that you have just given high praise for, and I just don't have time to read. Or when I have time to read, I start to get sleepy as soon as I start to read because I'm finally like settled down. So
we'll get you back into it because you were doing audiobooks while you were working. I know you got like extremely busy, but we'll find a way to make sure that you get back into it because I know how much you miss it. And I do feel bad sometimes now that I finished Empire of the Vampire. You're still like extremely behind. You're probably not even past part 1 yet. So yeah.
No. Speaking of which, I can't decide right now because I started listening to Red Winter by Cameron Sullivan and reading Empire of the Vampire with you. But I want to read Red Winter because of the footnotes. I'm struggling with which one I should read right now because you've read both, but one of them isn't a continued series. So I feel like I would feel more completed if I read Winter first, but I don't know.
I don't think you should base your decision off of what I've read. Just read what you want to read. And even if you want to jump to like more Scalzi or something like that, if you're just not feeling either one of those books right now, you don't have to read it just because I read it and I have high praise for it.
It's not even that. Like I am enjoying them when I'm reading them, but I don't know. Like I feel like I'm stuck and I don't know. So I'm asking for your opinion. Which one?
I would do Red Winter. I feel like that's a easier read because there's a lot less characters. It does have the 3 timelines, but for some reason it's just a lot cleaner.
Okay.
Empire of the Vampire does have the 2 timelines. However, there's a ton of characters came up with. It's written more old school fantasy vibes. So you really have to pay attention to the writing as well. There's a lot of secrets and things like that. So I would probably
maybe I
go.
should sprinkle another Ice Planet Barbarian in there or something.
You could do that if you're trying.
Oh, I haven't read Full Moon Rising either.
Yeah, so just pick one of those. If you're in a slump, you just gotta pick something easy.
I don't feel like I'm in a slump though. I feel like I'm just in a. Maybe I am in a slump.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Speaking of current reads, I am currently reading What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. I am 67% through. For a short book, I'm struggling with it.
Oh.
It's slow paced for a 170 page book. Again,
but it's a trilogy, right?
No, it's not a trilogy. It's an anthology. This is just his first story. It's based off of The House of Usher by Edgar Allan Poe.
Okay.
Very loosely based, but it's also The Last of Us with the whole fungi and reanimating, but it's not, I don't know, like for a horror, I'm waiting for it to get scary.
Oh, okay.
And I think the problem might be because I can't picture things that well. So maybe I can't picture these grotesque rabbits. And that's why it's not scary to me to see her surrounded by these weird zombified looking rabbits. That'd creep me out, but I'm not terrified because I can't really picture it.
Are they trying to eat her?
No, they're just creepily just staring at her.
That's really creepy.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah. They just look dead. Just creeping out.
Nah, man. No, I'm not cool with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a really good picture going. I don't like it at all. Okay.
I think that there is a tabletop game that's actually coming out.
It got backed, and I believe today is the last day to back that kid.
Yeah, so
the day we're recording.
So
it will be backed by now. It sounds like you get to choose which character you want to be. You could be some of the characters in the books.
Oh, okay. So you don't pick like a race.
No, you can.
Oh, okay.
But you don't get to pick till level 3.
Nice. Okay. So
they made it just like, of course. Yeah. So I love that we mentioned that in our first episode without even realizing that was a thing that was happening. But I definitely paid the $5 to get us in line for the backer kit.
Yeah. All right. That's it for what's going on. So let's move on to our spoilers and triggers. Go for it.
Let's activate the spoiler shield. We are covering Dungeon Crawler Carl through chapter 17. Enter at your own risk.
This series contains blood, profanity, catastrophic decision-making, and a cat with more authority than most governments, so proceed responsibly. And please do not forget, if you were enjoying the show, hit follow or subscribe so you don't miss next week's dive. And if this episode gave you thoughts, send it to someone who will argue about it with you. Every share, like, and follow goes a long way in keeping independent shows like ours going.
We drop new episodes weekly every Wednesday at 6 a.m. Central on Spotify, Apple Music, and all podcast platforms. You can also watch the chaos on YouTube if you're more of a visual gremlin. Finally, we go live on TikTok every week to talk with all of you about all things bookish.
And if you want to reach out directly, questions, thoughts, business inquiries, you can email us at bookfor2podcast@gmail.com.
All right, time for a quick recap. Earth has been turned into an 18-level world dungeon that is televised to quintillions of people. Don't ask me how many zeros that is.
A lot of zeros.
It's a lot. Carl and Princess Donut enter, of course, fight off some goblins, and meet their tutorial guildmaster named Morty, who basically looks like Master Splinter.
And with Princess Donut now the team leader, since she is overpowered, they must now navigate the first floor of the dungeon while learning its rules and try not to get killed by anthropomorphic mobs and bosses that are created from absolute nightmares.
Okay, spoiler shield up. We've been waiting all week to talk about this.
And we are not holding back. So buckle up. Let's dive into chapters 8 through 17 of Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinniman.
Let's turn the page.
Why did she jump? Chapter 8. Time to level collapse. 4 days, 20 hours.
Carl and Donut leave the training guild, and Morty let them know that anytime they enter a training guild door, it will automatically take them to him. That is, until the 4th floor. Back in the dungeon, Donut takes lead and realizes they have 29 hours to do something badass for their first TV airing. Carl gets annoyed pretty quickly and even suggested they part ways. Princess Donut and Carl have a heart-to-heart where she explains that she loves Carl, but not in a straightforward way. It was in a way I think all cats would express how they feel if they could talk.
Carl did find a prize on his person, a pack of cowboy killers, and a Zippo lighter. Why did we bring this up, do you ask? How could this be important? The author decided to put this here, so I'm guessing it is important. Unless he really wants Carl to have lung cancer.
That would be weird.
Yeah. Carl tried to ask Donut why she jumped out the window, but she was startled by something in the dark pathway. She was so spooked that she casted magic missile, and she hit a level 3 bad llama.
Ooh.
And these bad boys spit lava. You thought llama spit was bad before.
Yeah.
And Carl finished the llama off by fist fighting it and smashing whatever was in his throat that made the lava. That's a pretty shitty way to die.
But now because Donut dealt the most damage, she got to loot the llama corpse first. It's fun in a video game. Not sure how I'd feel looting a real dead and mangled body in real life.
Yeah, it's gross.
Wait, is this real life? Are they hands deep in the goo, or is it like in the video games where you loot and it just...
Yeah, and the body disappears?
Yeah.
I don't know. Did they say? I don't think they said. I think, no, they are
because
there.
The body is...
Yeah, because the first goblins, remember? After they crushed them, they came out of the thing and they were still there, the whatevers.
Oh, that's pretty terrible. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta do that.
Okay.
That's nasty.
All right. Donut was not happy with their fight and realized they needed to level up. For us gamers, this is called grinding. And no, it's not what millennials did in their high school dances.
Yeah.
As they traveled, they noticed an unordinary amount of bathrooms. They really don't want a repeat of that year with the bathrooms. Though they had different doors from places around the world, inside, they were all the same.
And after the llama fight, Donut was level 2. Experience is spread out between how much damage caused. That means Donut caused 71% of damage. She gets more XP. Tanking, healing, and just being in the party also gets you more XP percentage. Altogether, they had 10 skirmishes before finding a safe room. Carl made it to level 3 and got the foot soldier skill for smashing bugs. Here's our foot fetish again. Carl also thinks the AI has a foot fetish because it mentions feet a lot, and he doubts he will ever get shoes now. Poor guy. But Donut thinks it's an advantage. And he needs to get over his human male privilege and take one for the princess. Yeah, that's true. And then they enter the safe room. All right. Time for dungeon debrief. Let's do this.
Let's do this.
All right. So Morty told Carl not to take any deals until the 12th floor. And even then, make sure you negotiate. So do you think that the slave, like how many years you have to work for them? Probably. Because obviously they're going to negotiate probably how much you have to work.
You think that is that what you're getting? Is it's a slave contract of some sort?
That's what it sounds like.
Okay.
You have to work in these games is what it sounds like. Morty's doing it and all these others.
Huh.
What do you think about that?
That's crazy.
But it sounds like a car dealership thing because you never ever take the first deal. But it's a game also.
But he said that when he got down to level 10, he knew that he couldn't do it. So he immediately was like, I got to get out of here. So I wonder what happens at the 12th floor. I don't know. It sounds like Morty got a bad deal for sure. And he knows that based on the other NPCs that he talks to. So, all right. Never accept terms and conditions without reading the fine print. All right. We touched briefly on the cigarettes and lighter being useful later. Of course, you're not going to throw that in there for no reason. And he took one of them. So now he's down to 9 cigarettes.
Yes. 9 cigarettes.
Okay.
I am keeping track on the sheets.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect.
So why won't Donut say why she jumped out of the window?
I don't know. She skirted it again.
She got lucky. There's a noise. There's something fishy, obviously.
Yeah, something's very fishy about that.
We'll hit that in the tinfoil hat for sure.
And then let's talk about this one. Liminal bathrooms, because they match the user. So Donut's bathrooms are litter boxes and his are just normal. And it is the same bathroom.
Yeah.
He tested that with the toilet paper in the toilet.
You only get one roll.
Yeah, that, like, one roll per person?
At a time?
Per floor.
Is that it? Per floor?
Per floor. I think that's per floor.
Oh, man, you women be shit out of luck.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, guys.
Like, I was like,
guys have the advantage here.
We're going to be borrowing people's clothes and gross. Anyway.
Yeah, y'all don't want infections, man.
No.
But if it matches the user, again, because he's a guy, he just needs like a basic ass bathroom. If being a female, I wonder if they would give you more stuff or like bigger toilet paper rolls because you have to wipe 2 areas.
They did not specify how large the toilet paper roll was.
Well, we're not going to know because he's a guy.
Yeah, right. It could be one of those from a public bathroom that's like a roll that's like the size of a tire.
Huh.
Instead of just a normal roll that you put on.
Now, is it based on who opens the door or can you only see yours? So for instance, when Donut opens the door, she can obviously see the kitty litter. So can he see the kitty litter?
Yes.
But he just can't go in.
I don't know if he can go in.
I don't think he can. I think it's only room for one.
I thought it was a personal space. Like you weren't allowed to have more than one person in there.
Huh. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So they're doing the obvious thing that all of us true gamers know how to do. I've been doing this since the early days of Final Fantasy because there's a lot of tough bosses and the only way you can beat tough bosses is by
grinding.
Exactly. So that is the best way. It gets boring. It can get monotonous, but once you get that reward, it feels so good.
So for me, sometimes grinding is great because I get to unleash my autism and just kind of I just go on autopilot. These are the things that have to be done. And I have these things to do every day. like the world quests in WoW. I'm like, boop, these are the things I have to do.
Yep.
Oh, all right. Let's talk about Donut is playing this up. She knows what they need to do to win. She's a show cat. She's been in this world the whole time.
Yeah, so especially with the whole foot fetish thing, they're definitely going to be playing that joke up a lot. And she recognized that, oh, they like this. So if we play this up, maybe we'll get more viewers. Maybe we'll get on this show that's coming up with the highlights and everything like that.
Yeah. She's gonna be the one leading them towards getting on the show, getting the highlights. She's going to be the pusher for that.
Well, I mean, you know how much people pay for foot shit now.
Truth.
I'm just saying, like, just a couple feet pics. I don't know why everyone just doesn't do it. If you got nice looking feet, I'd be like, dude, it's just fucking feet. No one's even going to see your face. It's unless someone really studies your feet.
It's marketing again. It's all marketing.
Yeah, but again, it's feet pics. You just take a few shots and throw them up there. You really ain't got to market shit. Like, I was just like, here's somebody
either likes
throw a couple toe rings on there. All right, so let's
splatter skunk.
Let's head down. We have a couple quotes, and the reason why we have a couple is because one of them is one of the most known quotes.
Of
It's
course.
the first time he says it. All right, go ahead with the first one.
The first one is, nor am I wearing a cloak that makes me look like I won a participation trophy at the Special Needs Comic-Con.
That was a fucking solid burn.
solid burn
by
about
Donut.
about that cape.
Yeah, which I had to take off because that thing is just hard to sit in, everyone. Sorry.
You kept trying to choke yourself to death.
Yeah. Then the obvious other quote is, God damn it, Donut.
Ugh, perfect.
Yeah.
Best quote.
All right, funniest moment.
Funniest moment is when Donut called him out on looking to catnap her when he was looking at apartments.
Yeah, but that was also a sweet moment, too.
It was super sweet. She's like, don't act like I didn't notice. And he's, I don't know what you're talking about.
Mhm.
So cute.
He was willing to take her with him. That's very
He was
cute.
trying to catnap, even if he knew it wasn't going to work.
All right, and then favorite power-up is his new smoosh skill.
Of course, foot fetish again.
Push fetish, yep.
Yep.
All right, it is time for nerds talking nerd things. So
Let's do it.
take the first one.
First one is looting. Looting is taking gear from corpses.
And apparently in this book it is literal.
Yeah.
It's not digital corpses like what we do, so this is gross.
Yeah, I saw it on the webtoon. It was very graphic.
Yep.
Specifically for this llama.
Yep. All right, grinding, we touched on that a little bit earlier, but grinding is usually staying in one area, doing the same thing over and over to level up. This does not include only killing mobs. You can also do this by grinding gear. You can picking herbs, picking flowers is what they
Mining.
call it. Yes. And last one?
The last one is tanking. Tanking means absorbing damage and controlling enemy focus. So you're the one who
Yes.
is controlling the enemies so that they don't beat on the lower level squishy people.
And we did get a new mob boss. It is a bad llama level 3. It is basically trailer park trash. Poor llama skin, uncooked. All right. So that is it for chapter 7.
All right. You ready to turn the page?
Let's do it.
Playground of Dreams, Chapter 9. Safe rooms are the spaces of dreams. Delicious food, gigantic playgrounds, glorious sleep. Maybe they'll just chill here till level collapse.
The safe room they entered was what used to be a possible Polish fast food joint. The room had 3 TVs with info about the game in Syndicate Common Tongue. Countdown until premiere, 23 hours, 42 minutes. Crawlers remaining a little over 4 million. Fucked up thing is, it was 10 million just a few hours ago. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Leaderboard info will begin on level 3. Then the info about the safe room. Luckily, this one has 20 rooms available and they are free now, but they will probably have to pay as they descend levels.
It does let you know that food is available. Hey, the restaurant has 3 doors. The one they came through, the second door, had an X on it, said no personal spaces available. And door number 3 led to 10 sleeping rooms, like an inn in Final Fantasy.
Ooh, okay.
Then out of nowhere, the caretaker, a Bobka protector, level 63, named Tally, basically a gnome-like creature that only watches over the safe rooms. They are also employees that ignore the all employees must wash their hands sign.
Ah,
Lovely.
gross.
He's also very hairy, has a Slavic accent, and creepily didn't move. Carl actually allowed him to make whatever dish Tally wanted to make. Ugh, whatever it is. I'm sure Carl survives or else the book would end here.
Facts.
While waiting, they helped themselves to some beverages and opened their loot boxes.
And as they opened, Carl realized the prizes matched the crawler. A few items of note from the loot. Carl got a ring that gave +1 constitution and bandages that stopped bleed effect. Donut received the talisman of the slate butterfly, a charm for her cat collar, This allowed Donut to jump higher and gives +1 to her intelligence. And of course, she tried it out and got the zoomies, and Carl had not seen that in 4 years.
Aw.
So trusting Tally with food is apparently worth it. It is the most delicious thing he's ever tasted. He made a dish called mervindaloo. Hope I'm saying that right. It's an Indian dish that I'm sure someone in the fandom has made. If you have, please let us know.
I bet it's delicious. Not only did Tally mention fresh salmon for Princess Donut, but he even called her Your Highness. She used this advantage to get her and Carl a good room. The world being gone finally hit Carl while sitting there eating what he thought was the best food in the world. But there is no world.
Oh.
Now they have a safe place to sleep and good food. Carl is right. They could stay here until the staircases arrive. And at first Donut didn't like it, but they compromised and both agreed to take out the bug's nest. But they got to do it in style.
That's right.
Maybe a catchphrase. Something like, okay, let's turn the page.
I like it. Or maybe time for dungeon debrief.
Ooh, perfect.
Let's do it.
All right. So there's no personal spaces. Does that mean a possible like house of layers?
Well, it sounds like.
Wow, maybe?
Yeah, it sounds like you get your own personal layer. And I guess as you go down levels, it gets bigger.
It follows
and
you?
better. Yeah, it follows you
Okay.
too. I don't know if you can decorate it like you clowns do in WoW now. Let's just see some of these houses.
Some of these houses are like, I'll just quit.
Too much goddamn time in their
I'll
hands.
just quit decorating my house because I'm like, how did
Too much time in their
you
hands.
even? It's amazing.
All right. So the game does tailor prizes to the crawlers, which
Yes.
makes sense.
Donut's
Yep.
butterfly charm.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't want to give, as funny as it would be, but you don't want to give Carl the butterfly charm.
Why
But
not?
it would be funny.
He needs +1 to his intellect.
Yeah. He is low compared to her.
All right. Tally is a badass cook.
Yeah. So I was not expecting that. I thought the joke, because he doesn't wash his hands and all that stuff, that it was going to be gross. Maybe that's the secret ingredient, not washing his hands.
I assume that was a running joke.
Yeah. But
So gross.
apparently whatever he makes is fucking amazing.
Hey, at least Borat gives them food before
Yeah.
it kills them, right?
And he even said, I'd make even something more badass, but I was woken up early. And that is suspect too, because he's the second one. Him and Morty both said that they were not prepared, and usually they are.
And just real quick, I know this is tinfoil, but
Yeah, we're going to throw it
the
in there.
goblins and Morty had some conversation about something prior to cluing Carl in. And I think that they were talking some shit about it being early too.
Nice.
That's my guess.
Nice. All right. Yeah, we'll touch that in our tinfoil hat section. All right, real quick. Do you like Carl's plan? Stay at the inn until the staircase arrived, or are you more donut?
I'm more Donut's plan.
course, of
If
course.
you want
Gotta play the
to,
game.
yeah, you got to play the game. You know that there's going to be ratings. Obviously, we've been playing the game for over a year now. You have to,
Now,
show
real
the people what
quick,
they
this
want to
is
see.
more of a hypothetical.
Uh-huh.
Because the way Carl's acting right now, do you think if he didn't have Donut with him, do you think he'd even give a shit about this dungeon? Do you think he would try? I think Donut is one that's pushing him, giving him something to live for.
I think you are correct, but I think his innate desire for survival would keep him going.
Yeah.
And then if he found anyone to help.
Yeah.
He was in the Coast Guard. So he obviously likes helping people. He's a mechanic, so he's helping people. So his whole thing is helping people. So I don't think he's going to stop helping people, especially given the situation.
Exactly.
Hmm.
All right. So give us our funniest moment.
Tally calling Donut Your Highness.
That was
Just
precious.
really feeding into that ego.
Hey,
Why not?
that's her name.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So character update. Go for it.
We got Tally, the Bobka Protector, level 63, the very hairy gnome with a Slavic accent, and goes to random floors until no longer needed. That was a very interesting
Yeah.
phrase. No longer needed.
It sounds like they go to sleep until the next dungeon, maybe? This is how it rolls until they're no longer needed. So I think they just, I don't know.
I don't know either.
But real quick, I do want to talk about what he looks like. So obviously he's gnome-like. So I picture like this tall with a little pointy hat, but he's one of those, yeah, like that. Exactly. Completely hairy, face covered. Yep.
Yeah.
So imagine that little dude just making you some delicious dinner. There you go.
I love it.
All right. So obviously our favorite achievement of the chapter was the talisman of the slate butterfly. That is a very important one for her. It also gives her the extra intelligence, not that she doesn't need it.
And the jumping all
And the
nimbly
jumping,
bimbly.
nimbly bimbly. And
All nimbly bimbly.
first time that she's done that in 4 years. So she's like a little kitten again.
Yeah.
So,
That must be fun for her too.
but it was fun for Carl.
It's fun to see her act
Yeah.
like a kitten again.
That's what I mean. It gives him something to fight for. If she
Yeah.
wasn't there, I don't think he'd be doing it.
Yeah.
All right. So nerds explaining nerd things. We only got
yes.
one this time because it's a little bit shorter chapter. Go for it.
All right. Inns. Let's talk about inns, also called safe spaces in games. Usually you can buy simple items. You can sell items. Usually you can make it an instant travel place, like with our Hearthstones in WoW. And in some games, you can rest there to heal or get double XP, which is also a WoW thing as well while you're leveling up.
Yep. In Final Fantasy, you usually sleep just like in D&D. It's like the long rest where you just heal up all your magic points or restore and you just go about your day the next day.
And usually no mobs will come in there.
Yeah,
It's a safe space.
Yeah.
It's a safe space.
Exactly. All right. Good explanation. That's it for chapter 9.
Are you ready to turn the page?
Let's do it. Time to level up. Chapter 10. It's amazing what a full night's rest can do for your demeanor. Time to level collapse. 4 days, 3 hours.
Carl and Donut got some good rest, and the rooms came fully equipped with showers and shower accessories. Even though they got 10 hours, it still felt like nighttime to Carl. I think that happens when you can't see the sky. While Donut and Carl ate breakfast, he couldn't help but look at the number of crawlers left. Another couple 100,000 gone.
Jeez.
Tally cannot or will not answer questions about the dungeon, only the safe rooms, and personal spaces do transfer as crawlers change levels.
Okay.
Now, Tally did warn to start buying accessories now since they upgrade as the crawlers go down the levels.
That's smart.
Very smart. So if you get a work table now, it'll be a level 2 faster.
Yeah, versus waiting until later. What I should be doing with my character right now, he is not doing any mining or nothing as I'm leveling up. I could probably be leveling up faster, but I'm just trying to bust through and get to midnight.
Yeah. Nope, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You're probably actually going faster that way anyways, not stopping. Because that takes time. After Tally's sage-like advice, Carl and Donut went to do a level grinding by killing bugs. And as soon as they were outside, Carl lit up his cigarette. Oh, now they're down to 9. Nobody likes his smoking. Found a bigger bug this time. It's a level 4 Scatterer Brood Guardian.
Ooh.
Too big to squish, so he tried the few weapons he had, and they sucked. So it looks like Carl is truly stuck being a street brawler.
They took out more scatter mobs, and Carl realized that his stomp was a crit hit at almost every single time. They also collected scatter hemolymph vials.
Whatever that is.
Yeah. Once they reached the door at the end of the tunnel, they were both level 5. And a few of Carl's skills leveled up as well. That's nice. Now, there was no info on the door on their mini-map, and the room beyond was about 1,500 square feet. There was a sign on the door that said, "No entrar por orden del centro de salud." Hopefully I said that right.
Well,
they took a peek in anyways, and Donut saw a bunch of scatterers that smelled like the bag he took with him on the day the other guy came to the apartment. In other words, B was cheating on Carl while he was going to the gym. Once Carl had that realization, he got reckless and pulled out his goblin dynamite and tossed it into the room. There's one way to fucking go crazy, Carl. All right, time for a dungeon debrief.
All right. Now, talk about this.
So real quick, I just feel like the not knowing the time of the day would be a little bit rough. They've done experiments about that too, and it sucks. Like the one guy who went in the cave, he actually tested this. He went in a cave for, I think, a year, and he was off by a week or some shit, or 2 weeks. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because, you don't know how to tell time. He was just guesstimating.
Was he guesstimating based on his body's natural circadian rhythms?
Yeah, things like that.
Interesting.
So I don't think he had obviously he didn't have a watch or anything down there. Yeah, it was crazy.
All right. I have a question for you. How long do you think the people up top would survive?
That's a good question. So I personally think this is one of my big tinfoil hats. That there are going to be people that did survive just because people always do that in these type of like doomsday books. However, if not long, or they might be used for fodder as other mobs, like for more mobs.
Oh, okay.
The ones that did survive up there.
Okay.
All right. Can Tally only answer questions about the safe rooms? Do you think that's the only thing he's really allowed to do? Do you think that's controlled that way?
I'm wondering if he is worried that he'll mess up his contract. If he does anything outside of what his contract says he's allowed to do. So he's not willing to risk it, maybe? Yeah, or maybe he doesn't know.
They know more, but I just don't think, I think it is contracted to where they can only say certain things.
When Morty said that to Carl about not taking the deal, he whispered it at him, grabbed him by the shirt and whispered it at him secretly. So I don't think, So he's definitely not willing to tell Carl anything out loud so that anyone can hear it.
No, agree.
So that they can hear. All right, so let's talk about Carl's weapons. Do you think they're giving Carl shitty weapons on purpose?
Yes.
Oh.
I, for some reason, think that this is a little bit scripted. I have a feeling once they get to level 3 and they get to choose what they want to be, I have a feeling it might be limited. They might be trying to say, okay, this person's good at these skills, so let's try to push them towards this. Oh, we like the foot fetish thing. Let's not give him any shoes and make him a stomper. So I think it is a little bit scripted from the Syndicate.
That makes sense for ratings.
Yeah,
yeah.
They do it in real shows. If you think Love Island is fucking real, you're absolutely insane.
What?
The only time that it was actually real was like the first 3 seasons of Real World, and even then they gave them jobs and pushed them to certain things. Because basically it was just like a melting pot. They would just put random people. Here's a gay person. Here's a person who hates gays. Here's all this. And it's trying to learn from each other.
Yeah.
That was the whole point of the show, was to bring all these different cultures together and learn. And then it just came about, oh, who's the sexiest and who's fucking who and the hottest person. And let's make them do stupid games and shit like that.
Real World?
It was Real World. The whole concept was supposed to bring people together and learn about each other. That was the whole point of it. And then it just got out of hand when everyone just wanted to watch everyone fuck and fight. And that was it. It was so stupid.
We can't have anything nice.
No. All right. So real quick, B was 100% cheating on Carl while he was at the gym. And I still also, one of my tinfoil hats, we're going to see B again.
Ooh. I wonder how that's going to go down then, that confrontation about that.
Yeah. I have a feeling we're going to see her again.
Okay.
All right. What's our funniest moment?
The funniest moment is when the AI yelled boom, boom in Carl's head and he almost pooped himself. That is by far the most exciting thing. All right. We're going to nerds explaining nerd things now.
All right. I'll take this one. So
yes.
Critical hit and critical miss. So for my D&D nerds, that critical hit is rolling a 20 on a D20. That means that you have the best hit on them. It was the most perfect hit, and you usually get like extra points. A critical miss, usually something funny happens. You like drop your weapons or you slip and fall or something ridiculous. So critical hit is basically you got lucky. It's a very small chance hit and it's a very powerful hit. Critical miss is the exact opposite. You missed and threw you off balance and gave the enemy advantage.
Does it happen all the time or is it just occasional?
It's very low. Yeah.
Very low.
It again,
it's a
depends.
low chance.
It depends. So for instance, it's about modifiers. Dexterity could be your modifier. And if you need to roll a 15, you roll a 1, then you're going to fall on your ass. No matter what, a 1 is a crit miss.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's your odds right there.
Okay.
All right. That was it for this chapter.
Are you ready to turn the page?
Let's do it.
Trashy, chapter 11. It's not over till the fat lady stops screaming.
Of course, the dynamite exploded when it hit the ground and Carl got blasted. He even got the infamous flashing red vision. Luckily, dynamite took out the room full of about 3 dozen bugs. They pressed forward into the trash room, flipping through new skill upgrades and achievements for explosive handling, dangerous explosive handling, and goblin explosives. Nice. So they got more loot boxes, a silver goblin box, a gold crowd control box, here enough XP that he was almost level 6.
Very nice.
As Carl goes to click on the last achievement, Donut casually comments on some light music, and they find themselves in a neighborhood boss battle.
Oh, so it was warning music.
Yes.
Got it. That makes me think of the Left 4 Dead video game, the creepy music when you were getting close to the witch. I think it was the witch.
Yeah.
That one freaked me out. All right. The door they'd blown open was instantly reformed behind them, and they were locked inside, which is typical boss battle style. Donut panic fires at nothing, and then the trash woman exploded onto the scene. When the human woman, about 15 feet tall, scorched, enormously fat, started screaming, everything actually froze while the announcer made the match details known in everyone's heads-up displays.
Weird.
They were up against the Hoarder, level 7 neighborhood boss. Lucky for them, they had not only taken out her minions, they had managed to damage her quite a bit with the dynamite. So she was about 3/4 dead already. So thank goodness for small miracles.
Yeah, that was lucky.
They unfreeze and the woman screams at them in Spanish. And of course, I had to translate. They said to help her, she doesn't know what's happening and her stomach hurts, which might explain the scatterers that come crawling out of her mouth.
That settled it. They didn't have a choice but to end her. The magic missiles were doing too little damage, and Donut is too prissy still to get her claws dirty. It is up to Carl and the chain he snagged from the trash pile, minus the mummy dog that came with it. Blech.
Gross.
Now, as Carl goes to finish off the boss, she speaks to him in Spanish. She was apologizing that she was a bad person. She didn't want her daughter to get sick. What the fuck is...
What is going on?
That goes with my theory with the random people. But Carl had to stop her from spewing more Brood Guardians, so he finished it. And the announcement is made that they won. The music stopped, and Carl just wanted to puke. All right, time for dungeon debrief.
Debrief me, debrief. All right. The music playing in the background, very ominous.
Yeah, but like you said, that is good music. That's how you know, like when that music gets tense and your heart starts pumping, you're like, I'm fucked. Boss battle.
So
happens in all the good fighting games.
So now they're going to have to start paying attention to if they start hearing music.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
And some of the best music are from boss battles like Final Fantasy. Some of the boss battles, some of the greatest music composed.
Oh.
Crazy.
I have listened to some of those.
Yeah. Don't the raids in WoW have crazy boss music too?
I imagine they do.
Yeah.
I usually listen to Baby Shark.
Is there
EDM style?
Is there boss music when you fight like a world boss? I don't pay attention either. I usually have my music blaring too whenever I play WoW. I'm going to start paying attention. Like for me, WoW is...
There's so much happening. I'd have to turn off all the other stuff, but there's definitely music. When I turn the music up on WoW, there's epic music.
Oh yeah, there's music, but I'm not paying attention because WoW is the perfect game to where you do not need any sound. You can just play your own damn music and just go do your own shit.
Mm-hmm.
Except for when you're doing Dungeons and Raids, then you got to have sound. But then at that point, I'm not paying attention to the music. I'm paying attention to the voice telling me that I'm stepping in shit and trying not to get killed.
Move.
And not having a healer get pissed at me.
Yes. Good call.
Yeah. All right. So real quick, notifications auto minimizing themselves.
That makes sense. Why would you want your notifications popping up if you're in the middle of a fight?
That is very true. That's a good idea.
That's bonus, I think.
Yeah. Unless it's a very important.
It doesn't sound like she's a willing participant.
Yeah.
She was human. Of course, she's 15 feet tall now, so obviously not human anymore. What the fuck is going on here?
That's why I'm wondering if they are taking the people who decide not to come down in the dungeon and turn them into these monsters. Because she was obviously, like you said, a human.
And what is she talking about? Her daughter? And like her daughter
she was probably
sick? Was this a bargain she made to save her daughter?
It could be. It could be a bargain.
Is this a contract? Or
it could be the fact that she was sorry for her sins, because a lot of Latino women are very Christian, and maybe she thought this was punishment, and she was like, I felt bad for what she did for her daughter. She's not a bad person.
Well, she said she's sorry if she's a bad person. Yeah. She didn't know. I'm sorry if I'm a bad person. My daughter is sick. Oh, man. The quote of the chapter, she's almost dead. You can kill them when you kill her.
She has higher strength. She has higher strength.
Yep. She is not willing to
and she's nimbly bimbly. Come on now.
She's scared. Come on. She's scared.
I know she's scared. Yeah,
she's a little bitty
she
thing.
Won't admit it.
Yeah. I think she'll get it.
All right. Funniest moment. So it sounds like the announcer for the battle would be like if you were in a Street Fighter arcade game. Oh, yeah.
Including
he did that on purpose.
The verses and the small pictures. Like, it sounded like it was exactly like the Street Fighter.
Yeah, you got to do that for your viewers, but I think it is cool that he's seeing it too. Oh shit! Because then you at least know you're in a boss battle.
Yeah.
So character update. We just talked about her a little bit. It is the Hoarder. This is also one of our mob bosses, level 7 neighborhood boss. So neighborhood boss is around level 7, and she was definitely a human woman, but she was 15 feet tall, so they definitely
altered,
experimented,
or maybe she came from a different iteration of the game. Morty and Tally. Maybe she came from a different world.
Yeah, could be.
All right, let's talk about the favorite achievement or power up. Of course, Boss Babe. For crawlers who make it through the tutorial, this achievement by far most often in the last achievement they ever receive.
Yes.
That's awesome. So it's essentially, you've met your first boss. Good luck.
Nice. All right. It is time for Nerds Explaining Nerd Things. Go for it.
So the torch required no lighter, but the dynamite required a lighter. So the torch is just an on-off thing.
Yes.
On or off. And then the dynamite, you have to have the dynamite and a lighter in your inventory to be able to do both.
Now, are the torches a one-time use like they are in most games? Because usually once you turn on the torch, that's it. That's why you have 20 torches.
I think so. That's what it sounds like, why you have a bajillion
yeah, so you just
torches.
turn that bitch on, and then once it
30
runs out, you turn it off. It's on that one.
That's what it sounds like.
All right. That's it for Chapter 11.
All right. You ready to turn the page?
Let's do it. Boss Breakdown, Chapter 12. Needing an explanation for what they just encountered, they head to the tutorial guild.
After looting Trash Lady and receiving a neighborhood map, which auto-populated the neighborhood, that sounds like there's no more fog of war.
Nice.
Okay. They can now see other dots and an X marking a dead crawler. Of course, Donut wants to go loot her immediately, but Carl wants to talk to Mordecai first. At the closest tutorial guild, they found a still drunk Morty to explain the bosses to them. All right. There are neighborhood, borough, city, province, country, and floor bosses.
Woo!
There are also elites, but they can worry about those later. They had fought the easiest to kill and the most common to find. Great. But Carl wanted to know if all the bosses were going to be from their world. And Morty finally replies that not always, and there's a lot of recycling from previous games. Okay, that's real sus.
Finally, time to open their loot, and Donut is pretty miffed at the low-level bronze boss box that they received. Turns out, all bosses drop persistent loot, the map being one from the neighborhood boss, but he wasn't allowing them to tell what the other bosses dropped yet. The ones who actually kill the bosses get an achievement and a boss box appropriate to the level of the dead boss. You also get a nifty star after each boss you kill. Nice. The first 3 levels won't have anything higher than a city boss, and they are meant to be taken on by groups, not just 2 crawlers. Also, make another note, you can't run from a boss fight on the earlier floors, so maybe you can on later floors?
Maybe.
Finally, looking at their achievements and loot, Carl had 15 achievements and 7 boxes. The first 3 floors are designed to drown them in low-tier loot and achievements and beginner skills, dopamine hits left and right. After that, the achieves will get harder to come by.
Donut's over here hissing at her loot, and of course learns a spell before reading it. And she gets a Curl of Light buddy. Carl levels up Iron Punch and snags the Tome of Wisp armor, some more dynamite, enchanted spiked knee pads of the Shade Knoll Riot Forces, the Scroll of Confusing Fog, and Iron Skin potions. Donut immediately gives him shit for adding the knee pads to his ridiculous ensemble and accidentally finds out that there is a hugely popular hosted show where they interview crawlers. Ooh.
Nice.
Now Donut has a new mission, and now it's Carl's mission, of course. Get them on the show.
All right.
It's time to get back out there.
All right, time for dungeon debrief. Woo! All right, so it found out that there is a interview show as well.
That's almost as popular as The Crawl.
Yes.
But they can't watch it? Did I read that right?
That's what it says.
Okay. So they may be on it, but they won't even...
But it makes sense if you're trying to do propaganda. You wouldn't want them to watch because what they're probably doing is they're recording a show, then they're probably going to make edits to make things sound like they need it to sound.
But they take them out of the game.
In America.
But they take them out of the game. How do you take them out of the game?
Oh, there's ways. These are alien beings that have seeded worlds and shit like that.
Touché. So it's going to look like magic to me.
It's not going to be magic. It's going to be science that we cannot comprehend.
Well, it's just going to look like magic.
Yeah, which is magic.
All right, let's talk about the quote of the chapter. It's from Her Highness, Princess Donut. Let's go loot her corpse.
Yeah, she might be a sociopath.
She might be.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the funniest moment.
So, funniest moment, go for it.
Funniest moment, Carl worrying that he might skewer his hands on the magically retracting spikes on his knee pads.
Nice. Mine are obviously retracted right now.
Obviously.
Because I just haven't put the spikes on them yet.
I'm afraid of putting spikes on those, I'll be honest with you.
All right, so let's get down to nerds explaining nerd things, persistent loot. The corpse of the boss stays there and any crawler can loot it. So that happens in a few games that are MMORPG where you have a mixed game and usually they require you to at least get 1 hit on the person.
That's what WoW does.
Yeah, it's rare that there's a game where like you didn't do shit and you can just pick up random stuff.
But it sounds like this is exactly that way.
Well, that's 'cause it's
sounds
so big, yeah.
Sounds like the hoarder is not respawning.
This type of game, it sounds like you team up, and once the thing's dead, it's dead because you have to move floors. We're like, wow, it's different. Like it's just constant players coming into that area.
Yeah.
So this is like you're teaming up to take out bosses and stuff like that. So that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is it for this chapter. You ready to turn the page?
I am. Let's go. Don't be such a pussy. Chapter 13. When pressed, we find out who the real pussy is.
On their way to loot the dead crawler lady. Look, I know we do this in video games, but this seems messed up.
It does.
But this is a game, so gotta do what you gotta do to survive, right? Carl did mention to Donut that she might need to start getting her hands dirty since Magic Missile runs out pretty quickly. Now, the woman was already looted and murdered by another crawler named Frank Q. Okay, so apparently you can kill each other in this as well.
Make note of that.
Yeah. And then Carl had a random memory of his gaslighting asshole father pop in his head. And the memory was the last one he ever saw of his dad. We'll talk about that later.
Donut believes it's not a human that killed her, but a Cocker Spaniel. Based on their memory of the last one they ran into, I can see why she doesn't like them.
Yep.
But they both agree, hey, they aren't scared of a guy with a gun. Then Carl has a very human moment and feels bad that no one will remember this woman, and it pisses him off to decide that he is going to go find this Frank Q. Okay, new plan for now, though. Stick to the neighborhood they are in, hunt down the remaining red dots that they can see, and level up. Basically, again, grind in the area that you know and have the map for. And when the stairs open up, they're going to go hunt for the stairs and the guy. Then to close the chapter, Donut admits, hey, whoa, she is actually scared of Frank Q. She was just acting tough because she thought Carl was also a pussy.
Nice. We knew it. We knew it.
Knew it.
Time for dungeon debrief.
Dungeon debrief. Okay.
So Frank Q is definitely going to be a problem.
The fact that crawlers can kill crawlers is going to be a problem. And then Frank Q is already doing it.
That's what I mean. It's already early in the game and this dude's already killing people.
That makes trusting everyone super hard.
Now, granted, I'm playing devil's advocate here. We don't know his side of the story yet. We don't know what this other person did or tried to do. We don't know anything. But then again, he is a guy and she was a woman.
Not hopeful about the situation.
Yeah, I'm definitely not hopeful. Yeah. And it does make trusting other crawlers very hard.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably what the syndicate wants to.
Yeah, because you need those crawlers to be able to defeat the higher level bosses. Yeah, you're good. Oh, man.
Yeah, and this is obviously more dangerous than mobs, too, because mobs is red. This is a color you're supposed to somewhat trust.
Yeah, this is a friend or...
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't like that at all. Oh, my gosh. They could be right beside you. Let's talk about people being right beside you. Carl's dad apparently was a gaslighting asshole.
Yeah. So you can definitely see already some of his issues. And this is why when somebody told me, I don't want to mention any names, but somebody said during a live that this book doesn't have any emotion and all this other stuff. We're barely into this. And I can already see all the issues Carl had is going to go back to his father being absent, being a prick, and him wanting to show up for him. But because everybody leaves, he's just whatever.
He just avoids confrontation.
Yeah, he hates confrontation because of his father. So you see that because he's got dad issues.
It seems like he wanted to confront his father and his father just brushed it off. Why confront B about her cheating
exactly.
if it's just going to get brushed off? So he just cuts it off and walks away.
And so that's what I mean. So this is going to be a growth thing for Carl. He's going to need to learn to stand up for himself. He's going to need to learn how to communicate and all these other things. And that's why I think B is going to be in this. That's going to be a big moment for him, I think, to take control of who he really is. And if that's not emotional for somebody, I don't know what the hell is.
Yeah. B or someone who reminds him of B at the very least.
Yeah. So Carl has empathy and he wants to avenge the lady. That you can see that he felt terrible that no one was going to be there for her.
Yeah. The world is gone and he doesn't know if she knows anyone or knew anyone. She could have easily had people with her too, but now he has a new mission.
Yep.
So not only is he going to protect Princess Donut and be her bodyguard.
Yeah.
But now he has a new mission also to avenge this lady that he doesn't know.
Now, to be honest, I would give him a little bit higher marks on his intelligence because this shows emotional intelligence. Not a lot of people would see just a random dead stranger during this extremely stressful situation where your entire earth is turned into a dungeon and actually give a shit about what happened to this person and someone missing them. So that shows a little bit more intelligence for me with Carl. So for him having average human intelligence, because to me, average human intelligence would be like a Frank Q, just being like, oh, dead body, whatever. Let me just loot it. For him, it was, who was this person? I feel terrible for this person.
But intelligence is not emotional intelligence. Those are two different things.
It is, though.
But they're two different things. No. Couldn't it be another subcategory that he doesn't see?
A lot of people cannot empathize with others because they literally cannot see themselves in another person's shoes. So what he is doing is literally putting himself in her shoes and being like, man, what would it be like to not have anyone miss me and all that stuff?
No one to give a shit about.
Yeah, your average Joe doesn't think about that stuff. Yeah.
That's depressing.
It is. So on that note, let's go down to the quote of the chapter.
Oh my gosh, I love this so much. Freaking Donut kills me. Yeah, that was when I thought you were being a pussy. I didn't realize you were getting all Charles Bronson death wish on me.
That's what I mean by empathy, because like he is fired up because of this Frank Q dude. So there you go. Nice.
And she got him all fired up. And now she's, wait a minute. I didn't expect you to become the person you made me watch on television.
And that goes straight into our funniest moment, which is the same as the quote, because it was funny. We realized that she's scared.
She's a scaredy cat.
She's scared.
She's a scaredy cat.
She just didn't want to admit it.
Yeah.
She has high charisma, so I get it.
Yeah.
All right, and then we're going to do a quick character update.
Obviously, Frank Q, he's another crawler. He's a possible asshole, and he's a murderer at the very least.
Yep. So. Down to nerds explaining nerd things. We're going to start with PvP. That is player versus player. That is you against another real life person, usually one-on-one, sometimes in a group. It depends.
So would PvP, I mean, there are PvP servers on WoW, and you're essentially just a free-for-all versus the factions.
Like, for instance, when you turn on war mode, you just randomly, if you're a horde and you just randomly attack an alliance, that's PvP because you're facing a full-on player. PvE, which is the opposite, which was the next one, that's you against the mobs, the computer, things like that. You're not facing a real person. Yeah. All right. So there are a couple of different types of RPGs that I wanted to go through real quick because it can get confusing for some people. So MMORPG, I'm going to let you take that one because that's your favorite.
MMORPG is a massive multiplayer online role-playing game. So that is your World of Warcraft. That is your Elder Scrolls Online. That is Final Fantasy 412. When is it?
Final Fantasy 14.
14.
Now, however, it is more linear, though. So you have like quests that go on your way, like The Witcher, things like that. So you have a quest that leads you through an end game. A sandbox RPG is an MMORPG with absolutely no end game. You just go there and just fuck off. I can't think of games off the top of my head. I haven't played them, but I do know that it is another type of open world RPG.
Yeah, I had not heard of that one or the other one that you put on.
Yeah, Rogue Light is a mix between the two, and that's what this one is, where the levels change as you go down. So it's a level thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's fun.
Yep. All right.
Where is Witcher? Witcher is not a...
Witcher would be an MMORPG. Most of your popular RPG games like that are open world are your MMORPG, even Fallout, things like that.
Oh,
that's your normal open world, but it has a linear story quest that you're going through.
There is a quest line.
Yeah, with side quests and stuff. Yeah.
You can do all the other stuff, but there is a quest line.
Yeah. There's an end game. Even though obviously WoW keeps coming out with more things every few years, there's an end game to that one. So there's an end game to Midnight that's going to lead into the next one. So eventually WoW maybe will shut down servers and have an actual end game like 20 years from now. Who knows? But there's an actual end game that they're leading to is what I'm saying.
How dare you?
I'm just saying. Eventually.
I am offended.
Unless they add like 30 more classes. I don't have a bard. We need a fucking bard. Give me a fucking bard so I can seduce some motherfuckers. I want to play a lute.
You could do that with your...
You can't play a lute with anybody. Yeah, no. We need a bard because there's charms. There's all kinds of shit you can do with a bard. Why is there no bard class?
I don't know. Why don't you...
You had the little fox people.
Talk to Blizzard about it.
The little fox people would be perfect for a bard class. Are you kidding me?
Oh my gosh, they would be so adorable.
Dude, 20 years, get a fucking bard class.
Or the gnomes. The gnomes.
That's what I'm saying.
Super cute. I would make both of those.
Oh, exactly. Bard class.
Yeah.
All right. On that note.
Are you ready to turn the page?
Let's do it. And now, time for some propaganda. Chapter 14. It was the premiere of Dungeon Crawler World, Earth, and they swear they did it to save them.
So instead of normal TVs like we know them, Alien TV is a virtual reality experience of the recaps to include sensation. However, most aliens didn't like it, so they opted for the more bird's eye view. Honestly, I can't say I blame them as a neurodivergent.
No, that'd be too much.
Yeah, that'd be
way too much.
Way too much. So the crawler count was now hovering at just about 4 million with a live counter watching the lives trickle down.
They're mind fucking them.
Yeah. The commentator came on was a orange-hued, four-eyed lizard-like creature and showed recaps of the last game where a Earth-looking planet got really fucked up. While watching their collapse, though, Carl noted that instead of everything sinking into the ground, everything was vacuumed up sideways.
Then they showed a highlight from another planet called Ariel with gorilla-like creatures until only one remained and the winner began sobbing before they cut away. Tally mentioned that was last year's game and he hated it. They used the families of the participants as hostages, and even though families are alive, Tally says they are better off dead. That will be in our tinfoil hat. Something called the Squim zaps planets dry and takes the atmosphere. Tally's planet was not part of this. Sometimes the syndicate will take people from planets in exchange to not mine the planet. Then it was time to talk about the Earth's game. They spent a weird amount of time explaining male and female anatomy especially the baby making bits. And like all good propaganda pieces, they only showed the shitty parts of Earth, most likely to justify the mining of it. Sounds like what Israel's doing.
Yeah.
We do this a lot too. We show shitty parts of countries to the masses here in America to make them seem like lessers.
Super shitty. Then they were treated to a CGI rendering of the first 3 levels of the dungeon, which looked like an upside-down pyramid, preceded by 40 minutes of death scenes.
Nice.
Turns out most crawlers hailed from India, Africa, and South America, some even in groups of thousands. They watched said crawlers kill each other and get killed by mobs they hadn't even seen yet. That's something to look forward to. Eventually, the program showed some good highlights. Crawlers kicking some major ass.
I'd say the 13-year-old with the Roddies is going to be my favorite.
I think it's the same for me. Then it showed different mob types on the floors, more rules, and a leaderboard. And that was it. Donut was pissed that they did not make it into the premiere. Then the announcer busted out some highlights and bug fixes.
All right, 15 borough bosses, 1,500 neighborhood bosses killed, and 1 city boss fight that didn't last long. It didn't go well for the crawlers.
Oops.
There will be another announcement after each episode. Fire Fingers is now safe to cast.
What did that do?
I have no idea. No more exploring bathrooms, but only 1 roll of TP per floor. Ladies are not going to be happy about that one. And a few others, including my favorite, putting mobs in their inventory to kill them. That's a good one.
That's
a good idea. I never thought about that. Move. Yeah, too bad we can't do that. Staircase level 2 are now open, but once you go down, you are stuck until that floor opens. So do not go down too early. 6 hours before collapse is recommended, so you get an early start to the floor. And 30 hours until the next episode. So get out there and kill.
Well, after all of that, Donut's mission is set. Fight a city boss, get highlighted. Easy as that.
That's right.
But Carl, of course, has other priorities. He wants to find the stairs because 200 million square miles of Earth and only 75,000 staircases means the odds aren't great. That's some math. I'm not doing
math right now.
Luckily, though, stairs appear on their maps even if they haven't explored that area, so fog of war be damned. So they have 3.5 days to find the staircase and a lot of ground to cover.
All right, time for Dungeon Debrief.
Debrief me!
All right, how would you feel being placed in that virtual TV? We touched on it a little bit with our neurodivergency.
I think I would want to try it just to try it,
you wouldn't.
but I feel like I would be instantly overwhelmed.
Yeah. I know you and your senses would be over. This is not like a roller coaster. This is like everything coming at you. Like, yeah, you don't like being at concerts.
Yeah,
this would be way too much for you. I think I could handle it a little bit because I don't mind having a bunch of noise things everywhere. The only thing that might be weird is all the gross shit.
What about the visuals, though? What if the visuals are moving around? Because
you'll get everywhere.
Emotions.
Yeah.
Maybe we both don't do this. Maybe we just do the bird's eye view. All right. So they showed highlights from the other competitions. The last season was a Royal Rumble while they held the families hostage.
Yeah, and then they mentioned that the families are safe, but not safe. So we're not going to get too much into that. That's just a quick mention because that's a big tinfoil hat on the fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just leaving them.
It sounds, again, you're being forced to do all the shit. Somehow they're going to force you to do this, to join this shit.
That's what it sounds like. You don't have a choice.
All right. So the squirm, destroys the planets, but not all planets are mined. So there's a thing called the squirm, sucks up whatever minerals and shit they're trying to steal. But there are some planets, and again, they probably pick and choose. And they're like, hey, give us a few of your people, and then we'll leave you alone.
Was it the Syndicate that did that?
Yeah.
Okay. I think they're most likely, are they mining those people for the games? Do you think they're going there and saying, hey, if you'll participate, if you'll be a 15-foot hoarder lady,
it's probably even more
we'll
fucked
save
up
your
than that.
daughter.
So hear me out. And this is not for sure. So do not fucking quote me on this. All you people who want to get crazy. What if this is like, he's saying something about colonization in this? Because what if the people of these planets are selling some of their people out? Hey, I need these slaves. Oh, here, their government's selling these people out and they're just like mining these slaves from these other.
It's very possible.
It's exactly what it is. They're colonizing. All right.
And they're doing what every country, it's propaganda.
Yeah. And that's what I mean.
Support
like,
your own side.
The bros that read these books, I guarantee aren't noticing any of this shit. There's a lot of depth to these fucking books already. And we're chapter 14.
Yeah. They're not getting any of this.
Yeah, this is anti-late stage capitalism. You got propaganda, anti-propaganda, how propaganda works to distort your mind.
Like, clearly, Donut now thinks that this is the world that they came from. That's not their world. Those were TV shows and movies, and they only picked the terrible parts. Like, they're not showing the good parts, and Donut was completely convinced.
But again, he's showing how they do that to us, like with these other countries. Like, oh, look how poor this country is. Look at this. And then we finally get to see, like with China, how long were we told that China is such a poor country?
China's terrible.
And don't get me wrong, there's poor places in China, but there's poor places in America. There's poor places in every fucking country. But their technology is far more advanced than ours. But we were lied to, and we're being even more lied to during the Iran fucking war.
Oh, yeah, it's just
like it's absolutely goddamn ridiculous right now. So this is a very important book right now.
I don't even know what to fucking believe right now.
This book's very important right now with all the fucking propaganda going on. And because this is exactly what's going on. This late stage capitalism is what's causing wars right now.
Now, if the bros will just get on board.
Exactly.
Pay attention.
All right. So it sounds like there's some other cars that we might run into. The highlighted ones to me, when it comes to books, I'm just going to get the ones we're going to run into, especially the little girl with the Roddies.
Yeah, of course. Yep. Lucia Marr. Yep. We're definitely going to run into her.
She reminds me of what's her face from The Walking Dead with the sword. And
Michonne?
Michonne.
Yes.
Oh, I love Michonne. Loved her.
I think we're also going to run into the 10 that killed the Burrow boss, maybe, because those were both mentioned. So that was very specific. Okay. Out of all of the 1,500 bosses that were killed, those 2 were specifically highlighted.
Yep.
What does this patches seem dubious?
Oh, so just like with every game, there's patches, right? Fix. So some of these patches seem pretty dubious. Like they're controlled. Like one toilet paper per floor. What's that all about? Like, why are you limiting toilet paper?
Somebody probably abused it and used it to TP something.
Yeah, but did they even say? They didn't say why.
I don't think so.
It could just, again, it's psyops. It could just be psyops in their asses.
Yeah, more propaganda, psyops, all of that good stuff.
Yeah, and we will talk about what patches are down in the nerd section.
Okay.
All right, real quick. So staircases are now open. Now it does mention don't go down too early because you will be stuck. Like you cannot level up or anything.
Stasis.
Yes, so that is a bad idea.
Nobody can view you. Like you just are a ghost essentially for that time.
And it sounds like 6 hours prior to level collapse is the prime number because then you get to actually look around the next floor a little bit. So you get 6 hours to get your
bearings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now the issue is very small. There's not a lot of floors. There's only 75,000. So a lot of space to cover. They have to find stairs first, but don't go down. So if you have an area, you can grind and then just wait. So
yeah. How big of an area do you want to cover though?
It just depends on how big you need. Because again, as you level up, you got to remember your XP gets less and less. So you can't just keep killing scatter bugs. You're not going to level up quick enough.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you have to keep.
So they're going to have to. So they're going to need a way to traverse around a little bit quickly, if you will. All right, get out there and kill. That's obvious genocide. There's a lot of
indiscriminate.
There's a lot of people to feed in these things, so you got to take out the mouths to feed.
I mean, they took all of the nutrients and whatever from the surface, so
so they don't need them anymore. So what else you can do? Throw them in the games.
Are they actually eating real food, or is it?
I think they are eating real food. I think that this is free labor, basically. And then, because it's just like the Roman times, like, oh, we don't need you anymore. You're good at gladiatorial things. So let's put you in the gladiator stuff. Like after we've worked you to the bone, work in the fields and all that stuff, now you can go fight for your life. That's exactly what this is.
All right.
All right. Quote of the chapter.
They are making it look like they're the good guys, saving us from ourselves.
Very important quote right there.
Oh my gosh.
I love that quote.
That's all propaganda. Over the place. That's literally what we did to Iran. And I don't even like to say we. I didn't do this shit.
Yeah. But it's all politics. It's all, every country does this to their own people and all this other shit.
We're trying to save you from yourself.
It's all lies.
Leave us alone.
All right. The funniest moment was when they threw in the movie scene of the part making Earth like a hellscape. Donut bought it, commenting that she didn't realize that it was bad.
Godzilla was in there.
Yes. But if you're from a whole different galaxy, you're not going to know any better.
No,
and that's the thing.
Yeah.
Those
quintillions of viewers have no idea that's not true. That's not exactly what Earth is.
And that's exactly the point that he's making. Like the fucking Americans who don't travel and go anywhere and stay in their little small town of Niceville, who refuse to fucking leave and check out other cultures. That's exactly what's going on. What they're saying,
they have no idea.
They're like, oh, I like this place is so shitty. And then you go there, finally, you're like, oh, this place is actually beautiful. Like for a long time,
amazing.
I'll be honest, I thought Turkey was a shithole. And now I see pictures of like Istanbul and all this other shit. I'm like, damn, I was way off, but I was fed all these things that like all these Muslim countries are backwater for so long in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
It was sad.
Propaganda, man.
All right. We do have a couple character updates. We're not going to stay long on these. Again, Lucia Marsh is a 13-year-old girl. Her dogs are Cece and Gustavo the Third.
One dog shoots lightning, and the other one has a nifty chainmail sweater.
That's pretty fucking badass.
I know we were talking about making chainmail something or other at one point.
All right. That was probably our longest chapter of the week. Thank you for sticking around with us. We are almost done. A few more chapters.
I love it. Are you ready to turn the page?
Let's do it.
Time to turn on the charisma. Chapter 15. Time to level collapse. 3 days, 2 hours. And they had better get moving quickly.
All right. Now, the dungeon is nothing too special. It's your typical video game looking dungeon. The whole area is a grid with each space being an equal size square. D&D fans would absolutely love this with their graphing charts. Now, within each square was 4 neighborhoods, and each neighborhood had different mobs. So, for instance, one had goblins, one had the hoarder and the scatterers, and another belonged to the llamas. You get the idea. Now, the dungeon doesn't really cover the entire planet. The part they're in is just a condensed version of the city. Once the boss was dead on the neighborhood, the respawns of the mobs were random except for rats. Those fuckers were everywhere. But a new mob got briefly introduced. Slimes. They were a problem, though, because Carl's tried and true punch 'em dead method didn't work on Jell-O, and this Jell-O melted your skin to bones. New plan, avoid that neighborhood. To Carl's chagrin, Donut had found a chat feature when asked if they should go to the DA tutorial guild towards the goblins.
As a couple goblins approached, Donut got ready for a fight. But with Carl's goblin tattoo, he was hoping there'd be no need. And it worked as their dots switched from red, bad guys, to white, non-NPCs. Goblin Pass activated. Nice. When pressed about how they got it, though, Carl didn't get a chance to lie before Donut spilled the beans that they basically murdered their friends and they could scoop them up a couple streets over. Super subtle.
Yeah.
That 37 in charisma came in real handy, though, as she casually named them and got them to take them to their leaders instead of retaliating.
She's going to be dangerous with that charisma.
For real. In this goblin camp, there were 5 goblin bombards, level 7 shamankas, which female shamans.
Oh, so that's what we call female shamans. That's shamankas.
I did not know that.
Is that is that a real thing?
I have no idea.
Or is that just for this? And he was just like, what would you call a female shaman? Shamanka.
I don't know.
I'm going to look that up.
You know?
We don't have that guy yet. So if anybody who wants to be that guy who looks shit up for us, because Joe Rogan, all those douchebags have that guy. Everyone has a guy who looks shit up. I'm a little too far away.
I imagine if we were live.
Granted, we do have these things, but then there's a lot of clicking.
Yeah, I'm just not trying.
I'd rather be like, hey, Bob, what's the shamanka? Like, is that real? And then he looks it up and he's fucking real, bro. And you're like, cool. All right, that's squirreled.
Well, these shamankas were the leaders of the goblins.
Okay.
Fucking A. Even goblins were more progressive than Americans.
Female leaders.
Anywho. They are second only to the war chieftains, and they dabble in anguish magic, which is dark magic that adds a buff to damage attacks.
Oh.
Donut then used the power of therapy to get them to give them a goblin-built motorcycle with a sidecar.
Nice.
Not a murder dozer, but now they can explore faster.
However, they had the trade for it. Apparently, the meth Carl had was dungeon grade, which is good shit. Not the shit you get from Crestview. Now, this meth got them free coal to run the bike and a grenade thing, as Carl put it. Before they left, Donut asked Rory to come with, but alas, she could not. Mobs cannot leave the floor early. We did get more info from Rory about the dungeon itself. First floor are smart and not so smart mobs. As they descend, mobs do get smarter, and that makes sense. When each floor ends, the mobs go into a sleep until the next dungeon. Crawlers die if they don't make it. So at least the mobs don't die. They just go to the next dungeon. Go to sleep.
Interesting.
They are told to get better at killing crawlers, and they can go to levels deep enough that no crawlers come and they can finally have peace. They will no longer have to kill for survival.
Ooh, what?
So let's...
Shit.
I know. All right, it's time for dungeon debrief.
Whoop.
All right, I don't know. Yeah, we'll fix that. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk on that real quick. Okay, so...
Just on that last part?
Yeah, so it sounds, since no one has made it past level 13, if you get to 14 and beyond, you have peace. You're still a mob, but at least you'll have peace because, you know, no one comes down there. But you have to kill to make it down there. So it sounds like the more crawlers you kill. So there's incentives for both crawlers and mobs.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Gosh.
So that tells me that all these mobs were not evil. They're probably creatures from other planets and stuff like that are being forced to fight. It's gladiatorial. That's what it is.
Are you ever free once you're there? Are you just a slave at
Exactly.
that point?
And I think that's what Carl's trying to say. You're never truly free. You're always a slave to somebody and something, which is facts.
Yeah.
Because we could be the freest country in the world, but something's going to own us, a corporation or something is going to own something of yours. You'll never, true freedom is like never having debt, never having to pay tax, stuff like that. That is true freedom. You're never going to have that.
Yeah. There's not a utopian society where that would even work anymore.
Oh, humans can't do utopian. It's not in us. It's unfortunately not in us to do utopian.
I don't want to believe that, but I feel like I see it more and more every day.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially with a current going on in the world right now.
All right. There's a lot of things that we touched on in this chapter.
Yep.
I think that Donut is really good at understanding the rules of the game. She's reckless, but I think it's going to come in handy. Her knowledge of all the rules and that she's paying attention to all the rules that are going on.
Giving her that pet biscuit was the best thing they could do because her intelligence is high, her charisma is high, so she can understand things a lot better and faster. So that's why she understands the game. She almost sounds Machiavellian because she understands the game and she's only trying to win no matter what. That's why like later on, we're going to see what she's willing to do to win, which is pretty messed up. And even Carl questions like, the fuck? So she's showing slight psychopathic tendencies, but she's a cat. And we always like joke around that cats are psychopaths and sociopaths and have no feelings. It's a joke, but she's masking, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah.
But she's also very
smart.
practical about it because the goblins are the bad guys. It's either them or you. I feel like she's being very practical.
But her intelligence is also important. Like I said, she understands the game. Mm-hmm. So she knows that we definitely need viewers. We need patrons. That's how we survive. And Carl wasn't ready for that yet. So luckily he had her to be like, okay, we need to do this way, Carl, because Carl is good at coming up with things, but the follow through and thinking outside the box, that's what she's good at.
Yeah. I think Carl by himself would have, I don't even know what Carl by himself would have done.
Yeah.
I think he needs a mission. I think he needs a cause.
Yeah.
And he can be his own cause. All right.
So real quick, we're just going to touch on this. So the Slimies are your normal Slimies that you would see in D&D. They melt things. So he cannot punch because his arm started to burn and all that. That's probably going to come up later. Somehow the slimes cleaning metal as well is going to come up later, I think. That was very detailed.
That was extremely detailed.
Yeah.
Oh, that cleaned it up really nicely.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. We touched on Donut's charisma for a little bit. So it's definitely going to help for a while, definitely at least 4 to 5 floors. So she's going to be good to go because it sounds like the mobs are pretty dumb. And then just like any other video game, they're going to get harder and smarter as you go further down.
Yeah. What's the point of a game if it doesn't become more complicated and more difficult?
Yeah.
Let's talk about dungeon meth.
Dungeon meth. Okay.
Sounds like it's weird shit.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, okay, Earth stuff. But as soon as they found out it was dungeon made, they were like, I'll be back.
Yeah, not Earth made, dungeon made. So this is like primo. This is like, what's his face from Breaking Bad shit.
Yep.
Oh, wonder if that's who they got cooking. What if they got Walter White or Heisenberg, right? Is that what he called himself at the end?
Don't they have a thing of him being a llama?
What? No, well, it's probably a joke, right? Because that's where it comes from is the llama, is the meth.
Yeah.
Yeah. There might be is there a Heisenberg llama that we're going to run into?
I don't know.
Dude, that'd be hilarious. Because they talk about this meth is amazing.
When did this book come out?
Like 2020. So it was definitely after Breaking Bad.
For some reason, I feel like I've seen a meme of
I'm sure.
him as a llama. And I'm like, wait a minute.
I'm sure.
That's so cool. All
yeah.
Right. Anyways.
All right. So the other biggest thing, we touched on it at the beginning, is the mobs cannot leave the floor early. They're basically shackled. They're stuck there, but they go to sleep if they don't get killed. So if the floor collapses, they don't die. They just go to sleep and wait for the next dungeon. So not the next floor, the next dungeon. So they might not even realize when the next dungeon is. Because like I said, a lot of them woke up and were like, oh, what?
This is 2 years early.
Yeah.
But what does collapse mean then?
I think so. You know,
they're just going to sleep.
No, I think they're literally crushing the earth. If you think about it, they crush the top level, right? Like all the houses and all that stuff.
But then how are these people just going to sleep?
Then maybe Then
how are they just going
Well, they're probably putting to sleep, removing them, and then destroying the level. They probably gas them, put them to sleep, remove them. That's easy.
Is any of this physical?
You think it's all reality?
I don't know. Well, that would make sense. Like a VR, because they have already touched on you can view it virtually.
But you're
and
viewing it from a human point of view. It makes sense from a human point of view because all the shit that's happening in this book, we're like, this doesn't make sense. And it's all same with fantasy magic. But
yeah, magic. Okay.
But we don't know what technologies are out there or what could happen. I talk about it all the time, like how humans are going to be 1,000 years from now. Like we're going to be living to be like over 200 years old and shit like that at that point because of modern medicine and science, as long as people like Trump don't try to stop us and crush our science.
Oh, he's already done that.
Yeah. All right. Dungeon debrief. Time to move to the quote of the chapter. Go for it. Now, this is after explaining what charisma is.
Oh, yes. As long as they can speak and their dots aren't red and they aren't a boss or really high level, I can control them just like I control you.
Yeah, so that was Donut talking to Carl because Carl was asking, like, how are you doing this with your charisma? And she was, this is how I'm doing it. And absolutely.
Oh, as long as they aren't a boss, they aren't high level, I can control them just like I control you.
And we are going to combine that with our funniest moment as well.
For sure.
All right, so we have a couple character updates. So we met some level 2 goblins. So we met some goblins. The first two that were named by Donut are B.A., Face, and Murdoch.
Of course.
Yes.
And, I love that she did that.
Yep. And then we met the level 7 goblin shamankas, which are females, and they are Rory and Lorelei. And Lorelei has a thing for Carl.
I wonder if that was just the drugs talking or the fact that now she doesn't have to eat them after the fact. That is some messed up shit, by the way. Yeah. How to become a shamanka.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We did not touch on that. How to become a shamanka. Yeah.
Go for it.
You have to, what is it? Eat, kill, eat, or fuck 2 of the 3.
Yeah, that's
your
right.
Parents.
Yeah,
your
parents. Yeah. It's, now, going back to T. Kingfisher's 9 Goblins, you'll not see any of that shit in that one. Let's do nerds explaining nerd things.
Oh, yes. Okay. Typing in all caps.
That's a no-no.
This is such a boomer thing to do. Never do this. People are assuming that you're yelling at them.
This is also etiquette in text, but it definitely in the gamer world, especially in WoW and stuff like that. Because again, they're like, why are you yelling? Now, sometimes when I'm playing Overwatch, because I'm like typing buttons and I have to hit like the shift.
Yeah, or shift.
Caps lock's right there. So I'm fighting. So I accidentally hit the cap locks and I'm talking. I'm like, oh shit. People in those games understand there's an etiquette though, but never ever do this. All right, so a shaman. A lot of people don't know what a shaman is. It is a kind of elemental nature magic. So think about, again, like a shaman that you would think about here in real life. Like they are one with the earth. Usually they deal with the elemental magic and they're casters.
Are they doctory? Like witch doctory?
Yeah, kind of like doctory. They can be healers. They can fight. They can do all the things, really.
Okay.
Like, especially in WoW, I think they have all 3, right? Yeah, they can tank, they can heal.
One character that
I didn't like it either. But people who play shaman love it. Love shaman. But people
I don't have her as a goblin. Maybe that's the problem.
Maybe.
I have her as a troll.
Yeah. Now, the other thing is they are not quite as tree hugger as druids. Druids are your true like nature tree huggers. These guys respect nature and they use the elements versus nature itself. That's the difference.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. All right. I didn't understand that. All right. The next one is buff.
Not that kind of buff. Not that kind of buff.
We're talking about a temporary enhancement to some stat that you have.
Yes.
So let's talk about you get some
like a potion of strength that gives you +2 for 30 minutes. So you get +2 to your strength. So you get a little bit extra strength for 30 minutes. It's usually timed, the buff. Or another thing in WoW, if you're in a party, you have different classes and they have different special buffs that go to your party that basically is just to enhance your character for that limited amount of time. That's all it is.
And you can also eat foods that enhance certain things. So essentially Donut could find a food that enhances her dexterity or her constitution or something. Same with Carl.
Yep. All right. We already talked about the mobs. We are going to do our mob shout out. The first one is slimes, which are the same typical slimes in D&D and our RPG games.
Our goblin bombard. They are level 5 goblins. They have more fingers and are more dangerous.
Okay, so they don't blow up too much. Okay. And then you have the goblin shamankas, which are usually about level 7. Think Amazonian with pineapples on their staff, leader class, and specialize in anguish magic. All right. That was it for chapter 15.
Are you ready to turn the page?
Let's do it. Let's start a turf war. Chapter 16. Now that they have their vehicle, they'll just ride off into the sunset quietly, right? Not if Donut has anything to say about it.
All right. First off, with this very unstable goblin chopper with sidecar, they can cover a lot more ground.
Nice.
Couple of quick pointers, though. It keeps running until it runs out of coal. The sidecar was a real skull of an alien, so that's disturbing and cool at the same time. Perhaps more importantly, though, it comes with relief valves for pressure so the bike doesn't blow up. But no gauges.
Okay.
Apparently, you'll just know. It's a vibe thing. Good luck. So while the engineers were putting on finishing touches, customizing it to Her Highness's specifications, the two lady Shamakas disappeared for a bit and came back absolutely blitzed.
Nice.
And Lorelai used the liquid courage to hit on Carl with promises not to eat him afterwards. That was nice of her.
Rory at least gave them some useful items for me to update on their long-ass character sheet. Basically, a shit ton of explosives. Then Carl and Donut essentially start a neighborhood turf war for drugs between the llamas and the goblins. And these are not the names of their gangs. This is their species. They got frenzied up, hopped in their rides, and bounced. Carl and Donut were standing alone in bewilderment. What the fuck just happened? Apparently, this was Donut's plan all along to get the chieftain alone and take him out. Smart.
That's pretty smart. Diabolical. Actually.
Yes. Carl knows it's a bad idea, especially after the goblins help them, but Donut is right. They need ratings. So their plan, loot everything they can and kill the chieftain anyways.
All right.
All right. Time for dungeon debrief.
All right. Slaves. Lesser demons running steam engines?
That's diabolical.
What the hell does that even mean? Running them as in putting the coal in or using the lesser demons as coal?
Well,
That's how I took that.
So that was like a side note. They're like, oh, we don't use lesser demons. We use coal. And it's who the okay. That's what I'm saying. This is all about. Yeah, this is going to get nasty.
All right.
As we get deeper.
I want you to tell us about goblins.
All right. Like I said, these goblins are misunderstood. They're just trying to live their life. Now, very different from, again, the 9 goblins, T. Kingfisher. I'm not trying to sell the book, I promise. However, these are very mechanically smart goblins. They can literally build anything from junk. They took an alien skull and made a sidecar out of it. That's ingenuity right there. Dude, MacGyver would fit in. Is MacGyver a goblin? Bro.
I think MacGyver was a goblin.
MacGyver was a fucking goblin.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
But I like their thinking, though, because even though they don't have gauges, she's just fucking feel it out. So their shit works, but it's like bare minimum. But I think in their culture, they just know, like, when they got to adjust, like, they feel it.
Once you're with a vehicle, you're going to understand that it, oh, that doesn't sound right. So something is changing. Something isn't as it should be. So
now, how would you feel riding this thing after the description?
That sounds fun. Let's go.
I might be a little more cautious. I would probably ride. Yeah, I would still drive it, but I'd be a little. Yeah.
You'd be a little cautious about
yeah.
Have this thing upside down.
Okay.
This upside down the whole time. All right. Let's talk about Carl and Donut starting a turf war between the llamas and the goblins.
Yes. And this is not the Sharks and the Jets. This is not like a West Side Story thing. But this was her plan all along. See, she's a smart bitch. Love this cat.
Charisma the shit out of everybody. Did she know that Carl was going to give them the meth, though? Or did that become her plan after that happened?
I have a feeling that she can see lots of steps ahead. Because with the intelligence, you got to think about IQ. She can see a lot of things out of the box. Think about someone playing chess, right?
Yeah, she's
like when everyone says, oh, they're playing chess, they're playing checkers. That's literally what's going on right here.
Oh, for sure.
I hate that saying now. That is the worst fucking saying, especially since it's been so overused with dump in the White House.
Yeah.
Now, she is right that Killing Chief will give massive ratings. And so that's smart.
Yep. Ratings are important. They're also going to make enemies, though. So is this a good idea? How does that work with the Goblin Pass?
Yeah.
And then now, will that negate the Goblin Pass? That's probably a tinfoil hat. Talk about that later.
Quote me if I'm wrong. Like, I might be wrong here. Didn't they mention something like the chieftain treats them bad anyway?
Yes.
So they might not be mad at this.
Yeah, they might not be. You're right.
So it could be a win-win. You could get the ratings and still keep the goblins as allies.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right. They're also getting lots of explosives because they just left them in the middle of their entire workshop. So they just started looting the shit out of everything.
Yep. All right. Now for my monster romance girlies out there.
Oh my God.
Carl could have had a chance to bang a goblin. Probably 2 goblins. I guarantee they probably would have both joined in.
Oh my God.
Do you think he missed out on a solid chance?
He missed out on a chance. I don't know that it was a solid chance. I mean, it was solidly a chance.
Aren't they almost like praying mantises? Don't they kill or do something that they?
That was just.
that was
just to
part.
become a shamanka. So
the world's ending. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know what these shamankas look like, and I'm not sure that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could always.
Wait, hang on. Do you think he missed out on his chance?
I'm looking it up. Since we don't have a guy, I'm gonna be the guy.
Do you think he missed out on his chance?
I'm about to look it up. We're about to find out if he missed out on his chance. Shaman. We just need to see what they look like.
Come on, this is your chance.
Yeah,
We're definitely
gonna
have to post a picture though, because
you're gonna have to send me that picture so everyone can see what you showed me. Those of you who are only listening and not watching YouTube, I can only watch the movie Gremlins, and it was a gremlin head on like us. I hate to use the word sagging, like 60-year-old lady's body wearing a bikini. Yeah, it was nothing. Yeah, Carl definitely dodged the bullet there.
Let's talk about the quote of this chapter. Oh, sweetie, as amusing as I would find it to watch Carl here disappoint yet another woman, we're on a schedule.
Nice.
And she does say schedule like that. I love it. Schedule.
And that drops down to our funniest moment, Lorelai trying to hit on Carl, which we've already spoke on. I don't know. The world's ending now. You could have like ground rules, right?
Why don't we just put this out to the fans?
But you wouldn't?
No.
Not with the females. If it was a male goblin, you wouldn't? Like world's ending in a dungeon?
No.
With all the monster romance that you've read.
Not with how the goblins look.
Okay.
No.
So maybe like a troll then?
I don't know. I don't know what the trolls look like.
Or maybe the llamas. Llamas have meth.
Get back to me
there you
on that.
Sounds like llamas are where to go right now. All right. Favorite achievement?
The goblin copper chopper with the attached sidecar.
Yes. Clearly. Seat, alligator skull lined with white fur, runs on coal-powered permacube. Sidecar was a single bar, single wheel on a spring, smaller fur-lined skull, and pressure relief valves with no gauges.
Good luck.
Yeah.
I like the sidecar. Single bar. So imagine single bar.
Skull.
And a spring.
Yeah. Oh,
This is what I'm imagining.
You're going to be doing this.
Like the thing over at the kids park.
Yeah, where they ride and
it's just all over.
Yeah,
that's what I
exactly. Oh my God.
And I'm like, oh my God, that sounds terrible.
Nice.
Poor donut.
All right.
But she got it all tricked out for herself. That's nice.
All right. Nerds explaining nerd things. Go for it.
Ooh, crafting. Players create new items or gear or consumables by combining gathered resources, materials, or recipes. In WoW, you usually pick 1 to 2 skills, level them up like you would your class. Is that the same? I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of any crafting, some you can craft anything, some it's just 1 or 2 skills. It just depends on the game. But yeah.
I feel like we skipped over that part in our campaign. Is that accurate? Like sometimes you can be that specific?
Yes, in D&D, you can be a lot more specific with your crafting stuff. It just depends on the DM and like how deep you and the players actually want to get into the role playing.
Because you could actually be like, oh, sorry, you don't have 6 lengths of rope to make that.
Yeah, you could really hammer down some rules if you want to make it a little bit more difficult for people. But I think what we were doing for our campaign, because you were new and I think they were new, like we were keeping it a little bit more simplified at that point. That way there was no frustration and things like that. Because learning, especially with you being a sorceress, like learning a new character and learning how all the mechanics of the D&D is very involved. So it becomes frustrating right away. So the last thing you want to do.
I remember being frustrated right away.
Well, last thing you want to do is be like, no, you cannot cast a spell because you don't have 2 blades of grass from this plains of whatever.
That you've never been to.
That you've never been to yet. And
Welcome
you're like,
to the world.
You're like, God damn it. But some DMs will get that deep.
And then you could have bought it at the blah blah that you were at.
I think that does it for this chapter. 1 more to go. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. Blow it good. Chapter 17.
That's what he said.
What's a crawler to do when faced with insane loot and unlimited inventory? Loot everything, duh.
Carl had 10 extra inventory tabs by the time he was done cleaning out the goblins. Seriously, where the fuck is all this shit going? Where does it go? There's got to be a pocket dimension somewhere.
Mobius strip. Listen, ever since I saw that, I cannot stop thinking about it. Like, I'm just like,
that's what I'm saying.
Like anytime I pause, I'm like, what about that Mobius strip? And I'm like, stop it. Because it's here.
Yeah.
Here.
So maybe this is a simulation, like you said. Because where does it go in our video games? It's just coding, right? So if it was a reality, virtual reality kind of thing, it would just be coding. But if it's not, where the fuck does it go? Physics.
It's got to be coding.
There's energy, man. This has got to be pocket dimension. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Now, they took pretty much everything but those barrels with the XXX labels, which they tied together on a cart. And no, they are not sex barrels. They made a makeshift bomb with some hobgoblin pus for spice.
Delicious.
To place, to place in front of the chief's store, too.
The whole time, Donut was worried that the lady goblins would be mad. But maybe they won't be. The chief was a dick. Bring down the patriarchy. So they executed their plan to perfection. Donut quickly opened up the boss door. Carl shoved the makeshift bomb cart inside, and they ran as far away to safety, triggered the bomb, and win glory. It's easy, right?
Yeah.
Before hitting the button, though, he asked Donut if the chief was for sure in the room, and she confirmed, yep, he was huge, he was ugly, he was sitting down, he was reading a book.
Okay.
Do it!
Yeah.
She only casually mentioned after that there were babies in there, too.
Oh, no. That's a fucking way to end a week. All right, dungeon debrief.
Donut.
I'm telling didn't I say this?
You did.
I told you guys. She's Machiavellian, psychopath. That's what she's giving off right now.
Psychopath or sociopath?
From what I understand, it's psychopath that turns people into sociopaths. So you're not born a sociopath, you turn into a sociopath.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's very interesting. I'll have to, yeah.
Because it's the psychopaths that don't have the emotions, the empathy, and all that stuff, which turns them into the sociopath. So you can still be a nice person as a psychopath. Takes a lot of learning.
Can you not be a nice person as a sociopath?
No, because sociopath, you've gone the opposite way. You're like, you really do not like people.
I really don't.
No, you don't like people because of your autism. You, that's a
true.
whole
That's
different
true.
thing. Like you cry, you have feelings, you have empathy for others. They literally do not give a fuck about a single person. They will watch you burn and probably we're the ones lighting it.
Oh, yeah. No, that's not me. All right. That's a bit scary then.
Yeah. So what Donut's doing right now is because she knew those babies were in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not going to know her reasoning until next week.
Here's the thing, though. If they're trying to get on some ratings, this will get them on some fucking ratings, blowing up some babies.
Some kind of ratings.
Maybe not good ratings.
Yeah. Some kind of ratings, but all press is good press. Is that still applicable?
That might be what she's thinking.
Because you have other sociopaths who are going to be excited about other sociopaths.
But it makes sense because look at all the other sociopaths who voted this motherfucker into the White House. So yeah, of course they would. There's people out there that love this shit. You have the 62 million views on that website going on. So yeah, people will vote for that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, it sucks.
This simulation sucks.
Yeah. All right. So a couple more dungeon debrief things. They got a shit ton of loot.
Clearly, like anything they could pick up. They've got all kinds of explosives now. They've got all kinds of, shovels, wrenches, hammers, engineering supplies. So they can essentially be goblin engineers.
Well, where's it going?
With all of that stuff. That's going to be my answer from now on.
The upside down is going to the upside down?
Yes.
Stranger Things connected, huh?
Sure. Why not?
Does this get answered where all the stuff goes? Does somebody actually question this? Somebody has to question this. There's no way that I'm only 17 chapters in, I'm the first person to question where all the loot goes.
I think everybody just takes it as this is
that's what I mean by fun.
Yeah.
Because people will be like, where does loot go? And then eventually book 3 is, oh, here's where it goes. And it's probably someplace stupid, which is the joke is, oh, that's dumb, but funny at the same time.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be fun.
I don't know what's going to happen, but that's what
All right. Let us know. Don't tell us the answer. It was smart to build that big ass bomb with the explosion for the rating.
Yeah.
Potentially, regardless of good or bad ratings, there will at least be something about it, I'm sure.
Yeah, and we touched on that a little bit. Like he said, good press, bad press. There's going to be the people that enjoy that kind of stuff.
However, because of the babies, that seems going to be a lot more on the...
But here's also the messed up thing. Because again, we are so numb to mass shootings that people will still watch it because it's still entertainment. This is a game. So some people are probably numb to this by now, to watching goblins get exploded and all this stuff.
Because quintillions of people are
but that's how they do
this.
it. They numb you down to the violence to where it's just, oh, another school shooting. Oh, okay, let's move on with my day.
Weren't there 3 this weekend?
There was like 4.
4 or 5?
With 8 children dead. Let's keep the depression going with the quote of the chapter. There sure were a lot of babies in there too. That is woo. Yeah. I think we touched on that enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to the funniest moment in this chapter.
There we go.
Which was Miss Donut, sorry, Her Highness, directing Carl from the sidecar because she was too pampered to get dirty while he went round picking up all of the things.
Yeah.
I just imagine her with her paw out. Don't forget that. Look over there. Look at that thing. Hey, don't forget that over there.
Feeling she's going to have that moment where it's really going to come to her and be like, oh, I've been messing up this whole time. Like, I'm too involved in myself. I forget what that's called. Moment of clarity?
Self-realization or something?
It's where something bad happens and you realize, oh, it's been me the whole thing. Like, she's going to have that moment. Because I don't think obviously she's not a bad person. She's never, imagine giving a cat like sentience for the first time to be like us and even be smarter than us. So of course her charisma's a 37. You're going to have a huge ego with that high of a charisma.
Here's my thing. She remembers all of her stuff from before what you're calling sentience. Was she always sentient and just didn't have a way to communicate?
Maybe. That's possible. All right. Let's jump down to Nerds Explain Nerd Things real quick. So inventory tabs, are they like Google tabs or Excel worksheets? What do inventory tabs look like usually?
That's what they look like in WoW. They look like your tabs in your internet web browser.
Yeah, you just pick your item. Yeah. I wonder what it looks like on this HUD. Probably the same.
That's what I imagine. Like, I just imagine there's just the little tabs or like in your student Trapper Keeper. Oh my God, I just aged myself.
I didn't do it this time. And on that note, we are going to end this week with her slightly divulging her age. All right. So moving on to our tinfoil hat session coming up next. Enjoy, and we'll see you next week. You ready to turn the page?
Yeah. Let's go.
Hey, kids. What time is it? Tinfoil hat time. All right, here we go. We're going to just spout these off. These are our tinfoil hats for the week. You do the first one.
All right. Can you run from boss fights on later floors?
Oh, that's a good question. Because they did mention that you can't right now. So that lets us seem to believe that possibly later you can, which is a flee in Final Fantasy VII. But you usually can't flee with bosses because it's a boss. But
they usually lock you into a room or something.
But this sounds like anybody can kill a boss. There's no reason that you have to kill any boss on any level right now. That could change later. Okay.
All
right. Next one. They'll pull them out of the game for 10 minutes to do an on-camera interview. Do you think they will get an interview?
If Donut has anything to say about it,
that's a very like limp tinfoil hat, but we had to throw that in there.
The lightest one.
Yes.
All right. Do you think the blue dots would be hidden if the crawler was actively trying to hide?
What do you mean by actively trying to hide?
Is that a skill? Is hide a skill?
Stealth, you think?
Stealth, maybe?
I mean, stealth is a normal skill. You have it in WoW. You have it in D&D. It's a normal skill. So I'm sure there's a stealth skill
But would that hide you from other crawlers?
That's a good question. Now, are we able to see... If I'm in stealth and I'm your partner, can you see me?
I would think so because we'd be in a party.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see the dot on the minimap.
But what about people on the outside? Could other crawlers see us if we were in stealth?
Because if I'm Alliance, they can't see me unless they're in my party. If I'm stealth as a rogue. So you can't see that. You can't see me. So yeah.
Okay.
It'll definitely happen again.
For sure.
Okay. Are mobs being lied to about being able to go to deeper floors in new dungeons?
I don't know. I think so. I think all of it's a lie. I think everybody's a slave and whoever the overlords are just playing with people's goblins' lives.
It reminds me of that movie, The Island, with Scarlett Johansson. You saw it, I think, right? Where they tell people they're going to go off the island like it's a lottery thing.
Yes.
And then you find out later that they are clones and they're harvesting the organs for the rich people that paid for them. So yeah, it could all be 100% lies. It's a good movie, by the way. It's actually one of Michael Bay's decent movies.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, watch it.
So the goblins are told that if they get better at killing the crawlers, they get to go to the deeper levels, deep enough that no crawlers will get there.
Yes.
We know no crawlers past what, level 13?
Yes.
Okay. And then they can have peace. Is that just because everything there is so hard?
Or is that peace being lied to and there is nothing after level 13? They just tell them that to keep them to fight harder and then they never make it.
Is it all just a lie?
Oh, fuck yeah. That has to be. This all has to be a lie. That's why.
I hope not for everybody's sake.
It's a lie.
Figured. I got all pointy.
For those who are only listening, I keep forgetting that there are only people who listen to us. My tinfoil hat was curved and then it straightened up. Like I got an erection because I liked our tinfoil hat idea there. All right. Next one.
All right. So in chapter 14, it talks about the viewers are placed within the scenes. So essentially a VR experience. They get to experience the smells, the physical sensations, just short of actual pain. Hear me out.
Okay.
Wouldn't that just be a toggle on-off switch?
Pain?
Yeah. Is it all virtual and the players just have that
I'm sure it's a
pain switch?
Yeah, because it's just
on?
like with the rumble, the vibrating controllers, you can turn that off. Yeah. Obviously, those aren't painful, but I would imagine you should be able to turn it off. But because some people are masochists and want to feel it. That's free pain for them.
But they're not actually there.
You don't have to. Exactly. That's the best part. You're not actually there. So you get to feel and enjoy the pain because people get off on that but they're not physically in danger.
That's true. I thought for some reason my brain was like they feel the pain and are dying.
Oh, no,
but that's not accurate.
No, they just get to feel everything. That's my guess. All right. The turf war between the llamas and the goblins. I assume the goblins will know that Carl and Princess Donut offed everyone.
Because when they inspect, it's going to say who killed everybody. Yes. So it's going to say, I assume it'll actually probably either say their party or Carl, because Carl's the one who actually pushed it in there.
Well, there's no way the llamas did it because the goblins are going to attack the llamas. Is not the opposite. So there's no way a llama snuck off that quickly to do that.
Do you think the llamas and the goblins will team up?
Ooh,
do you think there's going to be like a team up kind of thing? Or are they also separated within their own species or quadrants or whatever that they don't do that?
That's a good possibility.
The llamas didn't even talk. They just spit lava. To be fair, Donut fired a missile first.
That is true. I do remember that.
She did fire first. Twice, actually.
Yeah. So maybe the llamas aren't too bad. They're trying to make it in the world by selling dungeon grade meth.
He's what so he's almost spit lava at these fools because they're shooting me.
All right. So real quick, do you think that Donut is going to have any empathy at all for what happened?
To the goblins?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think she sees it as part of the game.
That she doesn't see these creatures as real creatures yet. That she might just see them as game creatures.
Yeah, I think so.
That's very possible. If I was in this and I saw goblins and stuff, I probably wouldn't think that they were like real creatures. But now that you're talking to them and getting to know them, it's like, all right, this is kind of getting weird.
We also don't know what other video games Carl has been playing. So she saw him play Call of Duty.
Yeah.
She may have seen him play games where goblins are terrible and
exactly because they get a bad rap. Read 9 goblins by Chief Kingfisher. Damn it. All right. That's what I'm saying. Woof. All right. So on that note, tinfoil hats are wrapped up for the week. And we will see you next week. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. And don't forget, keep turning the page. Thanks for joining us for this episode of Booked for Two.
And don't forget to subscribe and leave a review to help other book lovers find the show.
Follow us on socials at Booked for Two Podcast for behind the scenes content, updates, and sneak peeks. And don't forget our random lives with random topics. We will try to announce our lives when our ADHD lets us remember.
Now, if we do end up remembering our lives on TikTok, we will answer your burning questions, react to your theories, and occasionally overshare our book-related emotional damage.
And if you want even more chaos, join our Discord. The link's in our bio. Come hang out, chat books, get early access to exclusive content.
And finally, don't forget new episodes drop every Wednesday morning. And if you have any comments or questions about the show, you can email us at bookedfor2podcast@gmail.com.
Until next time.